Here goes. All right. Wow. Welcome to my very first, I suppose, talk. This is what this is, really. I'm just sitting here talking about my thoughts, how I am, how I'm doing, what's going on in my life. I would like to evolve this talk project, as people nowadays call it podcasting, into a more topical activity where I have a planned topic that I've thought about and that I share my thoughts upon. But I think this is a good way to just dip my toes in, get some experience, recording, uploading, and maybe something nice comes out. Maybe just a thing or two will be enough. And that's enough to make me happy. I'm here with a cup of tea. There's a guitar here, and I should get another house plant. I'm just realising after moving this one here, a bit of green, a bit of books. I think it's a nice setting I've got going on. I also need to learn how to look at the camera. I feel like that's very important. As strange as this is, because I can see myself on video there, and then another version of myself in the reflection of the mirror behind me. But toast to this moment. Thank you for making this happen, for being here, for putting in the effort, making the decision, putting in the time. Thank you. Big reason why I'm doing this is because today I had to explore my career options, and that involved looking at different postgraduate studies, further studies, what I feel like I want to do, trying to find information about what my life would look like in those roles, which was very difficult to do because I couldn't find the person who was in that role to talk to. So hopefully that's something I can do in the future, hopefully within the coming weeks. I don't want to disregard and decide against any career options just because it feels difficult. There's this lady I came across online who talked about following your heart and listening to your body and using that to guide your career. Obviously saying that with a grain of salt, but it's definitely a topic or a perspective that is not covered by the professors in the university, because they're all advertising. Although there was this lady named Kate Smith who really felt genuine. She really cared and tried to help instead of just advertising and saying, "Oh, look at how great my degree is." And I think when someone tries so hard to convince you of something or tries to prove a point instead of just being truthful and I suppose neutral, it's very it's different and it's much preferred. I don't want someone trying to sell me something advising me, because that's gonna have an inherent bias. But talking to Kate made me realize doing something or just being a spiritual or centered person, having that kindness in my heart, I think really is important to me in my life. And whatever role I do, I want to have this space in my life to be able to have my peace, to be able to have my kindness and spread my love, and not have any career that I'm doing diminish my life balance in any way. As ideal as that sounds, I know there'll be times when sway off balance, and that's okay to fall. It happens. Life's not going to be, I think, a smooth ride, and it's a bit too optimistic to hope for that. Of course, we can strive for that and plan for situations that facilitate peace and well-being. But there will be unexpected situations that arise that challenge our peace. And that's why I think it's especially important to continually practice mindfulness and presence, to be able to have a wider, I suppose, experience to draw from. If I'm constantly practicing my peace, then I imagine that I will be able to, or at least have a higher chance of bringing that peace into moments of challenge, whether it's having a difficult conversation with someone or feeling overwhelmed. I often feel overwhelmed in social situations, or at least I feel like I lose a bit of myself. Maybe that's because energies mix. I have this energy where I'm able to be myself, but then when others come and influence that, I change towards their energy and their way of being and their way of interacting, and I think that's very normal. But I definitely want to be able to have more awareness and groundedness in myself so I don't become swayed as much, because I think that can be quite difficult and draining, and it's such a habit for me. Maybe it's a people-pleasing habit. Although I think mimicry and this imitation, this mirroring, it's a normal and healthy social skill and behavior to have, because it increases synchronicity and positive feelings towards one another. However, if that mimicry is consuming a certain cognitive or emotional level or amount of energy that you don't want to expend, then perhaps just being honest and saying, hey man, it's great to see you, but just to let you know, I don't want to spend my energy on you. Although I have a friend named Itzel who said, don't look at social situations as something you need to spend energy on, but something to rejuvenate you. And I think that's a great perspective to have, although I can't help but feel that, especially during the conversation with her, ironically, that it was energy consuming. And I don't want to maintain a conversation for a prolonged period of time when I don't feel like it. And I think it's especially hard to say, no, I don't really feel like having a conversation right now. Thank you. Yeah, that's a strange thing to say that's not said. My favourite moment today was sitting by myself in a garden with barely anyone walking around. I think I really do appreciate time alone and time away from people. Such as now, I'm really appreciating this moment. Although at the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, what if my roommate comes in and then this has to stop, which I don't want it to. And I suppose not having a roommate would be great in the sense that I will have more chances of these kinds of interactions or activities. Because, to be honest, I might not realize it now, but I feel like having someone else inhibits my creativity, especially Hassan, because he's not creative at all, and not in the artistic sense, and is quite judgmental. I think he has quite a closed mind and has lived quite a narrow life. whether that's to do with his strict religious practice, or a very stereotypical group of male friends with the gay banter and the fat shaming, just things that used to occur in high school, and I feel like that cycle and bubble has continued, and he hasn't really stepped out of that too much. He's probably most likely a virgin and doesn't really have much experience with girls, and still gets, I suppose, cocky. But maybe I'm judging and projecting myself onto that, because I feel that being with Eleanor, as beautiful as those moments are, I feel like when my life comes out of that, especially yesterday and even today, I'm noticing, okay, I am now perceiving myself as someone who is desired, as someone who is attractive, and I see others' view of me as that, and therefore I might play this attractive character or feel more confident. And I think I just have to navigate the nuances and balance between that relationship or dynamic that I have in my cognitive structure of the world and the relationships around me, or just the general social dynamics between females and males. And males in the sense that I see myself as a wanted person, not as them wanting me, because I think it sort of raises your social capital. By having a girlfriend, it's a socially desired thing to have a relationship, to be married, to have a happy marriage. It's a socially desired trait, and therefore it's valued within society. And it's very easy to have that affect my ego, because suddenly I have one of the most beautiful females I know, showing me love, and it's so unbelievably amazing. Honestly am surprised and amazed and struggle to comprehend it. Not that I don't think I'm worth anything, but to have it happen just feels like magic. I suppose it's because it hasn't happened in a long time, or it just feels really right in many ways. I don't want to get ahead of myself and say it's perfect, but I definitely appreciate it and value it deeply. I feel like there's a very deep sense of, I wouldn't even say appreciation or joy, but I suppose love or peace. It's like, to give you an example, I'm smiling in the happy thoughts, and when I envision myself in a very intimate and serious moment, the smile fades away, but not because I'm no longer happy, but because I'm in such a vivid and real moment that the joy or the amazingness of it doesn't need to be expressed through a smile. And I suppose I'm also learning that I don't have to smile all the time. I felt really good containing my energy and not giving myself away. It's great to have a smiley face and to be welcoming, but I definitely think that does take a certain energy, and I don't want to give that all the time. Certain people and situations, yes, sure. I'm not going to stop smiling completely, but if I'm meeting a stranger I don't know, I might not be all chappy and smiley. I might break into a smile after, a few sentences, and I think it's much more special and meaningful that way. Not to instantly give it out, but to have a moment that makes it happen, a moment that's deserving of a smile, and then suddenly, wow, the interaction becomes a lot more warm and genuine. It it feels like as well. Because if you're smiling all the time, who knows what you're really thinking, right? I might just be nice and like, oh yeah, no, that's fine, I'm smiley, but deep down I might not express that. But if I have a more neutral position, let me explain it like a sort of transitional stage. If you're neutral, it's easier to dip between a no or to a yes. And the yes is characterized by smiles, and a no is sort of drawing your boundaries and perhaps stepping away from someone or a situation. But if you're up here, it can be quite difficult to contrast to a, yeah, no, that's great. But I don't like that. At least that's my theory around social interactions personally, especially if you've got this friendly banter. It can be really difficult to, in the moment, draw a boundary or, make a point that's perhaps more serious. Whereas if you're in the middle, it's much easier to dip into that, but also come back to neutral, and then recovering the warmth between you through going back up to smiles and, making up. And I think that makes it a lot more genuine. Like, I'm neutral, but then I can be really happy when you say something nice. And then I can come back to neutral and say, oh, by the way, I would really like it if you do ABC. And then come back to neutral, take in their response and then say, I really appreciate you listening to me. So something along those lines. I think it's really important. But I love how I'm incorporating a lot of my psychology and sociology knowledge into my talk naturally. This is all unplanned and it's all coming out, which is great. I feel like I have a lot to talk about and I want to talk about things. Although I don't know how applicable this is for other people, I feel it very relevant to my life. And I think talking through it helps me understand interactions and situations. So if anything, keep doing this for yourself, Spencer. And yeah, I think it's a great experience. I don't know how long it's been. It doesn't say. Oh yeah, it does. It's just really small. 17 minutes. All right. Yeah, let's say 30 minutes. I think that's a good amount of time. Friendships. Societies. Balancing life is something. I've taken up meditation over the past month. It's been 3 weeks, actually. This is the 4th week. And it's good, it's great, but it takes time. And I just need to wake up early and sleep earlier, but then I get home at 5 and now it's 6 and I want to go to the sauna and I want to eat and I have to shower, but then I can't do those things too early because I need to leave a gap for meditation. And there's all these things. I'd love to do in the morning, but I just don't have the time. Maybe I just got to do less. I'm trying to take too much and I don't have the space for it. I want to make space and time for other things in my life right now. I want to wake up early and take my time, have a nice breakfast, take a nice slow walk to university. I don't want to rush just because I want to do an hour's meditation instead of 30 minutes. But yeah, I'm glad I made that realization because I don't want to begin resenting meditation, as lovely as it is, and as much as I want to sit there for another half an hour and daydream about Eleanor. I'm not even meditating anymore, I'm just bloody daydreaming about love. But no, I think important realizations do come up during meditation. Such as realizing I'm daydreaming about her quite often, although I didn't do it throughout the day today, which I'm happy about. I'm trying to draw a line or a balance between not giving her too much energy and attention throughout my day, but still really appreciating her because I do. Especially for her booking us a pottery class this Friday, which is in 3 days. Yeah, that'd be really fun. I'm glad I don't feel nervous or anything about it. Maybe excited, but yeah. It's good. I'm really lucky to have met her. I'm so lucky for her, honestly, because she reached out. She's making the moves, and I'm doing a bit of planning and putting in effort, of course, because I love her. But yeah, I'm really grateful for her. I also have to be careful of my perception of her at the moment, because I know that in past relationships I can, I suppose, decide to love too quick. I really want to know that my love for her is not just infatuation. My love for her is not, it's not just because I think she's amazing and beautiful. My love for her is not just because she likes me back. I want my love to be genuine. I don't want to think I love her too quickly, because maybe quick love is less. I don't think it is. I think love can happen anytime, all the time, but I mean, with romantic love, I don't think it's healthy to rush into it. I really want to build a foundation and take that up over time and grow in comfort with each other and feeling safe, and really continue to be true and express myself around her, and feeling safe to express myself, and raising any concerns or things that are happening inside of me, so we're on the same page. I really want to share my life with her, and I want her to share hers with mine. I suppose give what you want to take, and receive, and it's an exchange, and I suppose it's something I'm trying to understand more of, how this exchange works. And yeah, I would love to just work on my relationship skills to be able to foster a healthy and beautiful relationship with her. I feel like I can really struggle to be truthful and open, and I just need to take a breath and remind myself that, this is someone who's very caring and non-judgmental, and we have this beautiful opportunity now to really give ourselves to each other, to turn it into something amazing. And I considered her today during my careers mind mapping, and where are we going to go if we're going different directions? How's that distance going to work? Maybe we'll make compromises and stay together somehow. Who knows? But I mean, that's a year and a half from now, so still, I think, a long way to go, but worth a thought. I think if we do stay for a year, it would be worth to make compromises to be with her. Especially because, at the moment at least, I'm not entirely sure of what direction I want to go in terms of my further studies or career. I would love to take a gap year and do creative activities like this. So maybe that works out if she wants to move to do a master's. Oh my god, moving together? Well, that's a big step. Very exciting. I would love to try that. Moving to a new place with someone. A master's overseas. Oh my god, that would be so cool. Oh, and I don't even have to study. I just take a gap year. Oh, I'll have to get a job though. Yeah, part-time. Oh, so part of this careers exploration, and initially I thought this sounded silly because Food Story's offering a bakery part-time position, and I saw it and it interested me because I've been wanting to get into baking, I don't have any experience, but he said it wasn't required because training is provided. But hey, bakery. Why is a psychology student even considering a job in bakery? It's because I've never had a bakery job. And I'm open to the idea. I'm open to the idea of having a simple job and a simple life. Maybe I find the simplicity in it really fulfilling. Maybe I like the early mornings. Maybe I enjoy the activity and the skill of playing with dough and bread. Maybe I like the community of working in a cafe with other bakers. Or maybe it's really stressful and monotonous and I don't like it. But maybe it's worth a try. I don't know if I will. Maybe it's worth a try. Send an email. Yeah, doesn't hurt. Either way, I'm looking forward to going to the sauna now, so thank you for listening. If you've made it through to here, I really appreciated this space to be able to share my thoughts surrounding careers, relationships, social dynamics, and a bunch of other random little things. But yeah, I hope the video quality turns out okay. I hope the mic quality turns out okay. And I hope to only improve from here on out and trying my best and continuing to try my best. That being said, wherever you are, I'm wishing you presence, peace, and the love for yourself.
Meow.